Welcome back to the 2017 Australian Champs. Joined in the commentary box by Steve Emmets, who's from the Wollongong LMS. Obviously we've got the Rock Lobsters in the pink, who are batting first. They're from Wollongong, or Kiama. And second 11 bowling in the green and gold in Australia. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks, AJ. Good to be here. Expecting a very intense battle here.
Yeah,
two very competitive sides.
Two very competitive sides. They'll be leaving nothing to chance out here. They'll be appealing for everything and letting each other know how good they are. Marty's opening the bowling. We've got Nathan Tyrrell on strike now, and Pushpinder Singh, who's off the mark at the other end. And a bit of chat from Marty already. Just letting him know he's in the semi-final.
And also probably letting him know he doesn't really care that he's world number one. It's all what happens out here today.
That's right, yeah. So Tiz is number one in the world, number one ranked batsman at the moment.
He's actually been there for the best part of 12 months now.
Right.
His tournament thus far has been pretty lean by his standards though. Be looking to make amends.
Looking to make amends?
In the semi today.
Yeah, for sure. And exactly the sort of environment that Marty likes to bowl in, so... Yeah. This will be good. Ooh, play and miss there.
He can find that very good line of length, Marty. One thing you notice about him.
Definitely an experienced campaigner. Played a lot of LMS games. This is their third or fourth, maybe fourth run at the semis. Of course, they've made the final a couple of times and won it as well. So, the end of the first over there, and just needing to see that coming on to bowl now, Vaughan Oldham, another firebrand bowler. Through the covers for one from Tiz.
Pushy's on strike now. He's also ranked very highly. He's number 10 in the world for batting. Also quite a handy spin bowler.
Good ball from Vaughan, right up there. Dug out well by Pushy. It's I wonder what sort of score we're going to be looking at here. Any ideas?
Look, I think anything around that sort of 130, 140 mark, the Lobsters will be looking for. Probably these first 10 overs into the wind, they'll be a little bit more conservative, and then once they turn, they'll really unleash and
to open up.
Yeah, looking for probably minimum 80 to 90 off that second 10. Keeping it pretty tight here.
Yeah, good bowling here from Vaughan. Very full and straight. So at the end of 2 overs, it's none for 4. 2 runs apiece to the batsman. Marty coming on to bowl the third. And, yeah, that's good. Good tight pressure early on.
Yep.
It's not an easy ground to score runs on here. So the second 11, of course, are a reasonably local team. They're a Queensland team. They're from Ipswich. They've been playing LMS now for a good 7 years or so. A lot of experience in this side. A couple of new faces, but Marty's certainly up there with the leading games in the world, and that's
Zach.
A big 6. Big 6 over square leg. Marty letting him know that maybe he didn't get fully hold of it, but that was a good shot. Break the shackles a little bit. And of course, the Rock Lobsters from Kiama, they've quite a strong team down there. They just keep winning, don't they?
It's very rare that they lose locally down in Wollongong. They've been bridesmaids up here twice at the national champs. Of course, they lost last year to Oceans 12 in a very, very tight final. Year before, they were knocked out in the semis, and the year prior to that, they lost the final to a Kiwi side, I think it was.
Side, the Cow Tippers, yeah.
Cow Tippers, yeah. So they've been knocking on the door for a few years now.
Yep, absolutely. Second 11, of course, won it a couple of years ago. They won it in Canberra in 2012. And it looks like he's getting Marty's measure at the moment here. Is that another 6?
Another 6.
Another 6. 2 6s off the over. That's a big over. Is showing why he's the #1 ranked batsman in the world. So 19 for none, 1 ball left in the over.
Going to come around the wicket.
He's coming around the wicket, change the angle a bit. Looking for 2. Marshall's very quick across the field. He's not quick enough to prevent 2 runs. So that's a huge over there. 21 for none after 3. And Vaughan coming back on. Try and tighten the screws again. Tiz flying away to 18 off 8. Good start from him. A couple of big 6s in that over.
Yes, very impressive.
Second 11 actually lost a semi-final in Ipswich not so long ago. Massive upset in the winter comp. Came down to the last ball. The Sunday Sloggers got on top of it. Which obviously they didn't take that very well. They've since turned it up in the Ipswich comp and they're regularly scoring over 200.
Tends to take a couple of these bigger tournaments, I think, to get the experience amongst the playing group around, how to approach the innings in terms of the wind, the conditions. After the Lobsters lost 2 years ago in that semi-final up here, they realised that scores of the mid 100s aren't going to sort of cut the mustard. So they always look to score 200. That's their target. Probably a little bit different today on the turf and against a quality attack. But
that's a good ball from Vaughan. He's gone up for the appeal. Keeper not interested. Umpire not interested. Tiz not concerned.
Threw everything there.
Yeah.
Beach of a delivery.
Field. They don't take the second. So that's a much better over there from Vaughan. He's 2 overs, none for 4. Scores 23 for none after 4. Marty's given himself a spell. We've got Dave Fritchett coming on now, and one of the older guys in the team, but he certainly knows how to move a ball around. So with this wind, the Runaway Bay Doctor, he could be. Expect some big in-swinging deliveries coming from Tiz.
Lefty to lefty.
Lefty to lefty. I don't know if you see that.
Tiz will be looking for this leg side cow corner area again.
Pushes it out to cover for 1. Marshall getting a lot of work out there.
Both these sides have had a fairly tough run through to get to the position they're in today in the semi-final. The Lobsters cruised through their round games, but then had a very, very tough and close game against the Indian Lions Cricket Club in the round of 16. that game came down to the last ball with the Indian Lions requiring 7 off that, so a home run needed, and they restricted it to 2. So close call there, and then they were a little bit more comfortable in their quarter final against the Diamond Ducks yesterday, winning that one by around about 40 runs, scoring 160 odd first and restricting the Diamond Ducks to 120.
It's good. Diamond Ducks were doing quite well in the tournament too, actually, so that's quite a good victory.
What about the second 11, AJ?
Clips it off his pads behind the square. Another single. Takes the score to 27, sorry. The second 11, yeah, they lost a group game, but they've since bounced back and posted some pretty big scores. Brody Dwyer's batted very well. Brody Kenyon always does. They scamper through for a quick single there. So 1 ball to go in this over. Scores none for 28.
They knocked over the one of the heavyweights in 3 short yesterday in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, big victory there. Marty Henderson very pleased to. Oh, he's put it up in the air.
That one.
They're going to have to run fast to get this.
Marty's coming in.
Oldham is very quick. Oh, he spilt it. Very tough chance. He made a lot of ground to get there. Goes down as a drop though.
Chance.
Yes, Marty got the big wickets of Australian captain Samuel Lang, so he was certainly telling everybody about that.
Prize scalp that one.
Very prize scalp, yeah, it was good. Sammy was coming off 70 in the game before, so he was certainly in fine touch with the ball. He just hit him for a big 6 and then bowled him, so which obviously, second 11 got on top, through to yet another semi-final. So at the end of 5 overs, score is none for 29. Tiz looking very comfortable, 23 off 14. Pushpinder not so much, she's 5 off 12, so really seems to be struggling a bit out there on the turf.
Yeah.
Does he play a lot of turf cricket, or is it mainly synthetic?
He does play a lot of grade, back down Wollongong way, first grade down there, which is all on the turf, but yeah, it hasn't really gotten his own yet. He's generally one of those players that as soon as he gets one out of the middle, many more will follow.
So we've got Cameron Ingle bowling here. He's a reasonable bowler. He's probably better known for his batting though. He can certainly light it up when he gets going. See how he goes. Good shot from Bushy.
Pretty sharp in the field, this second 11 outfit, AJ.
Sharp in the field.
Yeah.
Henderson runs a very tight ship and will berate anyone who doesn't put in an effort. So they're all reasonably quick across the ground.
Yeah.
They take the catches.
Good arms. There we go.
Probably missing one of their better fielders. Brody Kenyon is in a keeper at the moment. He's done an injury to his leg. He's very good across the ground, and I think Gaz Copeland would be disappointed to be sitting on the sideline. He's normally the grandfather of the team.
Quite handy to have that versatility though, and a good outfielder has an injury and he just takes the gloves.
That's right. Yeah, he's a very good cricketer. So he'll obviously won't be able to bowl, but with the bat he's very good. Expect 50 off not many.
Just tighten the screws here, the second 11. So after that big over off Marty Henderson in the third over, it's been lots of singles and 2s. No big shots really. Bowling tight lines here.
Tight lines, yeah. No, it's just a couple of 6s.
Yeah.
In the second over, or second or third over. Tiz hasn't really been able to get it away since. Bowling quite well. 32 for none after 6 overs. Brody Dwyer comes to the crease. starts off with a wide down leg side, which Kenyon struggles his way over to get.
Lobsters would probably be looking for a score of around about 60 to 65 at the turn, I'd imagine. So
yeah. And cash in when the
with wickets in hand and the breeze. Oh,
that's an edge. He's caught
big
behind.
scalp.
It's given him. That's a big wicket for Brodie Dwyer. Started off with a wide, then pushed it outside wide of off stump. Tiz has had a big lash at it. And that's well taken by Kenyon.
Boys are very excited with that scalp.
Well, that's a huge wicket. So 33 for 1 after 6.1 overs. Tiz making his way off the ground, 26 off 20. He looked dangerous early on, but he just didn't really get it away again. So 26 off 20.
It's sort of been the story of his tournament. He's got a lot of 30s and 40s off not many. That hasn't really gone on.
Quite a few viewers tuning in here. We've got Gerard Fitzsimmons from the Spofford team in Brisbane, very well known Brisbane LMS team, and Nick Dolby Walsh, he'll be the England captain of the World Series, is watching. So shout out to everyone. I know the Abusement Park boys are back at their hotel at the moment, tuning into the live streaming. Very disappointed that they've been knocked out, but they're all watching. So it's really come a long way, Last Man Stands, with getting some live streaming on finals day. It's good.
Bringing the game to the people.
Bringing the game to the people. It's what the people want.
So young Jake O'Connell's in at the crease. Dabs one away to get off the mark.
Jake O'Connell, crowd favourite here a couple of years ago. He really got the crowd going. Everyone got behind him. A young fella. He'd only be about 18, 19, isn't he?
16, AJ. 16.
He's 16 now.
16.
So he was only 14 or 15 back a couple of years ago.
Yep. So he got
behind him.
Got a bag of 5 wickets last year as a 15-year-old, and
well done.
He's got another 5-fer earlier in the tournament this year.
Wide bending the back, they've just pushed it onto the leg side. Marshall's very quick. A bit of a mix-up in the field. Be looking for 3, but not settled for 2.
Jake's actually just been picked up by the New South Wales under-17 academy side.
Oh, right.
So he's weighing up his options around whether he should move to Sydney and play grade cricket up there and really test himself against the best.
Oh, that's clever bowling from Dwyer. Just loops it up outside off.
Nice big follow through there, bit of chirp.
Big follow through. He's always got plenty to say.
End of a really good over there from Brodie.
It's 37 for 1. Jake, 1 not out. Pushpinder 9 off 16, so he's really probably got to lift the rate here, you would think.
Yep, don't want to be chewing up too many balls.
Cam Ingle with a full toss. He tries to get hold of it. He's pushed it into the gap, but Marshall again covering the ground distance very well. That's a 2. A loose ball there from Cam. Oh, we've had Ditch from the Woodies chime in on their live feed. The Woodies are coming back next year.
We've missed them this year.
We've missed them this year, that's for sure. That'll be good. So I told you last year, Ditch, that I didn't really believe you when you said you were retired, but here he is a year later going, yep, right, we're coming back.
Great to hear.
So do we have any other teams coming up from Wollongong, the Wollongong area?
We had the team from Kiama make the journey up, called the Plus Size Slayers.
Plus Size Slayers, yep.
They did it pretty tough in their pool games and then met the mighty Alderac side in the round of 16 for the plate. The rain we had yesterday was good running there.
Good running.
The rain we had yesterday played havoc with a couple of the fixtures, and they were going to play a friendly against the Kiwi side. The rain put paid to that, unfortunately. But yeah, they had a great time up here.
That's good. Good to see. You had 10 teams come up from Sydney, which is a massive effort from the Sydney boys to come all this way. Faulkner Fury from Melbourne. It's gone down leg side.
Much needed boundary.
4 boundary. 4 leg buys. Yeah, we had four teams from Ipswich this year. Not only the second 11, but the Sunday Sloggers came down. The Swamp Donkeys and the Abusement Parks, of course. The Brisbane teams, the Diamond Ducks and Frederick Spofford, and the Brisbane Cool Boys, who were the champions. So big thanks to everyone who made it down. It wouldn't be the 200 it is without the teams coming
from far and wide.
Exactly
right. We also had the Dirty Slappers come across from Adelaide.
From all the way from Adelaide, yep, that's good.
No, any Perth teams this year?
I don't think there was this year, no. Brody coming on for his second over. Only went for 5 and picked up a wicket off his first. Big swing and a miss there. He's bowling quite well here. Jake just struggling just a little bit, 3 off 4. Punches it down to long on for 1.
See if Brody can close out this over here.
One ball to come. He's only gone for 3 so far. And he's been whipped away for 4 runs over backward square leg.
So that takes us to 1 for 55 off 9.
Not really the way you want to finish an over, but a good shot there.
Very much in the balance this game.
So we've only got one more over, and then we'll be swapping ends, and then they'll be hitting with the breeze. So that could definitely lift the run rate, I think. Yep. bowl chance.
Possibly. Might have been a bumper. Bump ball.
Cam Ingle into his third over now. He's bowled very well, very economical. Only 10 runs coming so far.
Jake goes big.
That'll be 6 more.
Into the wind, that's a big shot.
Jake showing why he's been picked up by the New South Wales under-17s. It's a good shot. They really needed that, the Lobsters. Be good to get a few more in this over. It's an edge. Over the vacant slips Corden. Good fielding from Fitchett. 2 more. Another good shot. It's down for 1 note. Good over, 1 ball remaining, 9 off it so far. Full toss. 1 bounce down to Marty. Just a single. That's the over. Cam's 3 overs, none for 20. The score is 65 for 1 after 10 overs. Now we'll change around to the other end. You'd be pretty happy with that, I think. 65 after 10, into the wind.
Only a wicket down.
1 wicket down.
Yep.
Plenty in the bag. Now we'll probably see them, see the boys opening the shoulders and giving it some curry now, I think.
Yep, definitely.
So they'd be looking at maybe 150 surely. 65 so far,
Yep.
halfway mark.
Yep, targeting 90 off this second 10.
I think they'll need it too. Second 11 are a good batting side. A lot of depth. At the start of his third over, and he's welcome back to the crease with a big 6 over back and square leg. That's a great shot from Pushy. 27 off 25. He's starting to find a bit of rhythm now. Maybe he was just waiting for the wind to turn.
Pushy's generally disappointed if he hasn't got to 50 by 25 balls. So
right, so he's a long way beyond his normal run rate then.
Definitely.
These next few balls could be pretty good then. Pause in play or fetch the ball. Dwyer back to the top of his mark. Sweep out for a single. Good throw from Oldham, hitting the stumps. Looks like we're going to get a change of commentary very shortly. Very excitable Lydon Gibbons making his way over.
Beer in hand. Good sign.
Maybe Rob Stevenson as well. Good shot from Jake, straight to the field of that. dot ball. And another single through the covers. Brody finishes his third over, his score is 1 for 21. We'll be joined now in the commentary box by Lydon Gibbons and Rob Stevenson. Enjoy. See you guys.
Thanks, AJ. So, here in the commentary box with me we have Lydon Gibbons. So Lydon, a lot of you globally would know Lydon. Self-professed LMS legend. Lydon, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. I would agree. I would say a lot of people agree that I'm a legend.
Score at the moment, 11 overs in, 74 runs, just a 1 wicket down, so solid start here from the Rock Lobsters.
They're hitting with the wind now too, so
absolutely. They'd be looking for at least 90 off the second 10 here, so probably looking for a score of about 165, you would have thought. It's a big wicket pretty early on. Nathan Tyrrell, the world's #1 batsman for the majority of the last year. What are your thoughts on Nathan?
He swings hard. He hits the ball pretty clean, but what he does in his league back home to come into the Australian Champs and Worlds like that is far from the best batsman at these tournaments, in my opinion. But
sad as you see it, Lydon.
He doesn't consistently hit 50s. Like, don't get me wrong, Brody Dwyer, he's hit 50 nearly every game, but Tiz does it at a remarkable pace where Brody just ticks him along.
Cameron Ingle with the ball, just bowling at the moment. This is the 4th over for Cameron Ingle.
That's 2 wides too, so that's 3.
So a bit loose there from Ingle. Jake O'Connell, the young lad on strike, 16-year-old. He's terrific. You can't deny that he's a good cricketer in the making, Lydon.
Well, that 60s hit just before into the wind that's a long boundary from this wicket, and into the wind, huge shot. So expect a few more of them. That's another wide. That's definitely a wide. You just got to bowl to a plan. So they're bowling full and outside off, so they're hitting against. Oh, he's caught it wide now. That's late.
It's a bit loose here this over from Cameron Ingle. Would be disappointed with this. First 3 overs relatively tight. Big swing there from young Jake O'Connell. So 1 ball left in this over now, and then that's the spell from Ingle. 82 runs on the board. Lydon, what do you think is a good score on this pitch? What would you be happy with if the tradies were playing now?
With the Rock Lobsters bowling lineup, I'd probably say they'd be pretty happy. They might have talked about maybe 130, 140 at the start of the game, saying on this pitch is probably enough. So
great shot there, straight down the ground, flips away into the fence, stuck under the fence. It's going to take some retrieving from Brody Dwyer.
So I'm sure they're pretty happy with where they're going at the moment.
That's a very solid hit there from Jake O'Connell. So young O'Connell moves on to 24 off just 14 deliveries. 1-6, 1-4, and that's the end of the 12th over now. So 86 for 1 after 12 overs. So Lydon, multiple World Championships for you. Where have you played in World Championships now? How many and where have you played?
I've been to all of them actually. First one was obviously here in Australia, actually here at the Bay. And then I think we went to South Africa, England, Barbados, and then South Africa again in a couple of weeks. 5
World Champs veteran, good effort.
And then no wins.
We'll just watch Marty Henderson, the skipper, coming onto bowl here. Ball's high in the air.
Short.
Corey Marshall coming in, can't quite get there.
Marty's he's a good cricketer at this level. Like he knows what he wants to do. He doesn't bowl gas, but he just hits the spot. He bowls outside off. They can't hit with the wind. If they pick up anything from outside off here, they might take him over the ropes. So this side, that's the one.
It's a big hit there. Clears mid wicket, out of the ground. Fantastic shot there from young Jake O'Connell.
I think I called that, didn't I?
moves on to 30 off just 15 balls. So, Biden, this is an interesting game with regards to the World Series as well, which obviously several of the players from this tournament are qualifying for. So the World Series over in England in August next year. You often go over to England and play club cricket there in the winters, don't you?
It's a good little concept, actually, that World Series thing.
So basically from this tournament, the captain of Australia, Sam Lang, who's the captain of the Canberra team, 3 short, they're already out the tournament, he's been picked as the skipper, and then the top batsman, the top bowler and the top all-rounder through the last man stands rankings will get automatically selected after the final today. So there's several players on display in this game who'd be up in there for the running.
With is that batsman spot solely on runs, or does it take strike rate into account?
It does take strike rate into account, absolutely. So
okay.
yeah, it's all on the point system. So the quicker you score your runs, the more 50s you get. If you hit home runs, the better your chance of being up there with the batting rankings. I would have picked you as one of the favourites for the all-rounder spots, but would you say that you're incredibly disappointed with your tournament this year?
Yeah, well, I don't bowl anymore. I've done my back and elbow, so I don't bowl, and I don't reckon I hit the ball very cleanly at all this tournament. So it is what it is, mate.
There's another spot that's up for grabs at the World Series. So the top-ranked Australian at the World Series the World Championships, in South Africa next month gets a chance. But let's just watch Marty here trying to recover from that wide.
That's a better ball. That's a good
better ball. He's trying to bowl it full outside off some, just to stop those slogs to leg. Jake O'Connell now 33 off 18 balls and 1 ball left in this over from Marty Henderson.
Yeah, he needs a dot here, a dot or a single. You don't want him slipping away too much because they've got so many batsmen in the sheds that can hit a big ball. And that's another one.
On
That's
his
up
legs,
in the
that's
wind.
up in the air. It's drifting.
And that's,
Kept in well there. That's good fielding out of deep square leg.
4.
Just 2 runs there, so saves 2 out there. Good bit of fielding there. So that's the end of Marty's 3rd over, the skipper. So that's none for 31 off 3 for Marty Henderson. He'll be disappointed with those figures, that's for sure. Jake O'Connell going well here, 35 off 19 balls, and the score 98 off 13 overs. You'd be pretty happy with that, wouldn't you, Lloyd?
Yeah, that's a very good score so far. So hopefully Brodie Dwyer here can pull it back. He got the big wicket of Tiz earlier, so if he can maybe snag a couple here and get some fresh batsmen in.
So Brodie Dwyer will be coming on to bowl here. He's currently right up there at the top of the up near the top of the batting rankings and the all-rounder rankings as well. So you'd say at this stage he's almost a shoe-in for one of those Australian
you'd
spots.
hope so. And he's come into this tournament wanting to win one of those roles for the spot. So he's made it his mission. He's batted extremely well at the top. I think he's averaging 250 or something like that. He's only been out once this tournament. So
absolutely, yeah, he has had a terrific tournament. Decent first ball there from Brodie. So this is his final over. He's 3.1 overs, 1 for 21 at the moment. So there's 4 deliveries to come. He'll be pumped to go to England with the World Series. I remember when you went to the World Championships over in England. Brodie was playing with one of the other teams there.
See? Oh, so yeah, he played for second 11. He
wide down the leg side there. He'll be
ball.
disappointed with that.
So with the bowling spots, does that take into economy rate, or is it solely on wickets?
Absolutely, economy rate's massive. Wickets obviously help usually, but yeah, the economy rates are huge, and the more overs you bowl a game, the better your chances of picking up ranking spots. But just on the legs, straying on the legs a bit here, second 11, giving away another 2 there.
That's a
good
flat
on there from
who's that? That's
deep
Vaughan.
mid-wicket.
Vaughan out in the deep.
Vaughan's a good cricketer out there.
He's a very good cricketer.
So that's Vaughan Oldham out at deep mid-wicket.
They're a pretty smart side, the second 11. They've been playing last man stands for a long time. So whatever side these guys bowl from, they'll either have their 2 lefties on or their 2 righties to make sure they're always hitting with the wind. That's another nick.
Big nick outside off stump. So bowling that full length outside off stump, really creating that pressure. And young Jake O'Connell chases it there. Goes for a good dig there, 38 off 22 balls, and a replica for the first wicket. So now 2 wickets down, both of them caught behind off the bowling of Brodie Dwyer.
Who's that from there? That's not Doc, is it?
So, let's see who the next batsman coming in is. There's a lot of depth in this Rock Lobster batting lineup. Paul Marchese, the skipper, coming in. He's another one. I think his batting average is over 100 in last man stands, and he's more of a bowler really, but great experience, and he's had a couple of important digs already this tournament. So coming in at a time that's ideal for the rest of the Rock Lobsters, really. It gives them license to.
It's just go time now. So they've got probably 3 or 4 big hitters still in the sheds. So they have the ability to just swing with freedom now if they lose a wicket, such as life. As long as they keep the run rate up and keep moving.
So there we go. So Brodie Dwyer is going to come on for his last 2 balls here. So 2 balls left in the over, 2 balls left in his spell. Paul Marchese, the Rock Lobsters captain, on strike. On the legs again, down the leg side. They'll be disappointed with some of these wide second 11. They're not normally this loose with the ball. Second wide in the over, so that gifts Paul Marchese 3 runs off his first ball. Always a great way to start your offense stands innings.
I really like that rule, to be honest, as a batsman. Stayed low.
Stayed low. Marchese disappointed with that.
He's running past and sending him.
Just short of a length. It's a big wicket.
That's 3 for Brodie now. And they're enjoying that.
Dwyer will be happy with that. 3 for 28, I'd say on current form, unless he's got to have an absolute shocker with the bat in the second innings and potentially the final to, well, a shocker with the bat and not play the final to have any chance of not making the Australia team, really, to be honest. He's so high up the rankings, especially when you look at Marty Henderson's poor spell.
They're a team that...
Blyden, an interesting fact, I don't know if you've realised this, I wouldn't have thought so, given the amount of beers that you drink. Did you know that there's only one Australian side that's ever won the Nationals outside of your team and second 11 who we're watching now?
Yeah, they're from New Zealand, aren't they?
That's why I said one other Australian side. So there's been several tournaments that have been Australasian Championships. Ocean 12 from Sydney are the only other Australian side to ever win on this tour.
Yeah, they won last year.
So that's who we're watching now. Double national champions, second 11. Haven't won for a couple of years. 2015. So last year was won by Ocean 12 from Sydney, the asylum seeker side from Sydney.
There.
Here we go. So the end of that over. The score is 105 for 3 after 14 overs. 6 overs to go.
Well, it's the wrong lines to be bowling. They need to be pushing the ball further outside off stump.
There's been a lot on the legs, that's for sure.
It's a long throw into that wind. That's run out if he's got a cannon. He's got a cannon down the middle.
Good running there. A lot of pressure on the fielders here.
But it's a long throw into that wind. It's easy hitting. They need to be making them hit outside off stump.
Absolutely. Bit of pressure off the moment, maybe. There's a lot of experience in this second 11 side, and you wouldn't normally see a lot of them bowling like this.
That's a better ball. That's a far better ball.
Goes hard, but it skews out towards cover. They should just get one there, and they do. Corey Marshall in quickly there from deep extra cover.
It's one thing that you'll see out of the 4 sides that are in the semi-finals is their fielding is probably next level to a lot of the other teams. A lot of the other teams seem to just hit it and be happy with the one, or in the field they trickle to the ball and just amble in and get it in, where these guys, they're quick to get to the ball, they're quick to release it. Every run's vital.
Absolutely. That's Corey Marshall again. They'll get to you there. So this is Dave Fitchett's second over. Third ball just bowled, so 11 off his 1.3 overs so far. Pushpinder Jasal, again high up the rankings. He's had an incredible tournament. He's struggling a bit today though by his lofty standards, 38 off 34.
Oh, that's out. That's close.
Not given out. I would have thought the umpire would think that was pitching outside leg.
Yeah, he's swinging it in, but yeah.
So a better ball there from Dave Fitchett, but again, just saying maybe a bit more of the bowling outside off stump is what they should be going for. They're opening up the opportunity for the leg side sixes here.
Have you seen much of the kids that made it through this morning?
Again, just bunts it short to mid-on there. I haven't actually watched too much of them, to be honest, but there looks like there's serious talent in there. Scott Palombo, the skipper, the way that he batted to score that 75 not out yesterday, and in the round of 16 game was very impressive for a young man. He had his
Yeah.
team on the ropes. I can't remember the exact situation. I think they were about 60 odd for 5, and
Yeah.
they just stuck in there and
Yeah, well,
Well,
actually,
certainly
they were
five
gone
and
for
out.
all money actually before that inning, so that was a great knock from him.
absolutely. So he's kept them right in it. Apparently the young lad Joshua
Josh
Yeah.
Carnes is an exceptional cricketer, all-rounder,
Absolutely.
bowls
Had
good
had
wheels.
a disappointing first over today with those wides, which was very
Yeah.
uncharacteristic.
He'll bounce back. He's they've just come back from a school trip for TSS in
Marty
Rockhampton.
Henderson just hit out there. Is that going to go the gap between point and cover? Hasn't gone all the way. Corey Marshall round again, quick fielding there, and saves 2 runs. Good work by Corey Marshall there. So this is Marty Henderson in his last over now.
Yeah, they had a cricket tournament in Rockhampton, and he pretty much won 3 games out of the 4 or 5 that they played, pretty much single-handedly with the bat and some games with the ball. He's a good cricketer.
Absolutely.
But that's what we're seeing more of now with the last man stands. The standard of
Young
cricket over the
talent comes
last 4 or 5 years is just tenfold
Absolutely.
improved. So
Well, if you look at around Australia, a lot of our regional champions, and I'll just pause for Marty's ball here. So good, just a bit too wide there outside off stump. Strickland Fernandagam signals the wide.
such a grey area, the wide rule. Like the batsman walks across before he bowls it. He pushes it a little bit wider. He plays and misses on a ball that he could have hit. He calls it a wide. He stands still. He bowls it a bit straighter. It's not a wide.
It's a very experienced umpire here, though, Strickland.
It's a grey area across world cricket. Like it's not. I'm not having
2
a-
again there.
definitely
Several
not
of
having
these
a team.
2s. Oh, and they'll come back for 3 there. Marty Henderson, a bit lazy there behind the stumps at the.
Well, he's in front of the
bowler's end.
stumps at one point. He needs to get behind it and get his body behind it. As small and skinny as it may be, he
If you're a
can.
young cricketer at home, don't follow suit to what Marty just did there.
But they could all be 5-10 off on that side. It's a massive hit. You don't see too many blokes hitting a 6-over point. So they could have probably. They're in now. They've all come in probably 5 or 6 since that.
So Rohit Sharma advancing down the wicket there to long off. He's now 6 off 5. Pushpinder close to his retirement on 43.
I thought Rohit Sharma was playing against Sri Lanka at the moment. Oh, that's a good ball.
There you go. Decent last ball of the over from Marty Henderson. He'll be disappointed with that spell. He's a very, very good cricketer. 4 overs, none for 39 from the captain. Scores now 121 for 3.
He got any left?
4 overs left. The bowling figures at the moment, there's 2 overs, none for 4 from Bourne Oldham. Dave Fitchett, 2 overs, none for 13. Cameron Ingle, 4 overs, none for 32. Marty Henderson, 4 overs, none for 39. And then Brodie Dwyer, great figures there, 4 overs, 3 for 28. And he'll open the batting for them as well, Brodie Dwyer. So now we have Hayden Donnellan coming on. Who's had a... Is this Hayden Donnellan or
No, I think it's his Fitch still. Fitchy's still.
Dave Fitchett?
Yeah, and I think Vaughan will bowl the last 2
Absolutely.
from as well. So
There you
it's
go,
a bad
skew
line.
down towards third man, but there's no one round there, so that's going to be 2 runs. Brodie Dwyer, the keeper, picked up an unfortunate injury 2 days ago, which you can see the lack of ability from the keeper to chase that down.
He's a good cricketer, Big Red, and if he gets going today, I don't think he'll need to run too much anyway. So
Absolutely. Brodie Dwyer, former batsman of the tournament, I think 3 years ago.
Brody Kenyon,
Brodie Kenyon, apologise.
that's fine.
Brodie Dwyer's like
Brodie
to be
Dwyer
captain.
could be future.
Oh, yeah, this year. What
He
about
might-
yourself, Ryan? You've had a few batsmen of the tournaments, haven't you?
I've had a couple
There we
of
go.
lucky stints.
Doesn't quite get hold of that out of Bourne.
Might be-
Out at mid wicket there, so they're struggling to really launch here, Rock Lobsters. The last few overs, they were very set, and now they're 125 with just 3.5 overs left.
Yeah.
So
I still think they're probably pretty happy with where they are at. They probably, if they get 1 or 2 over the fence from here, that I think it'll push their score to 140, 150, and it's an exceptional total out here on the turf pitch. It's had a few games of cricket on it, so
that's true. So
Just
down
get
to long on there from Rohit Sharma. 10 off 7 now.
pitch is just getting a little bit low.
It's the last ball in the over. Pushpinder Jasal will be looking for a 6 here just to get back in the sheds. Allow the tail to hit.
Well,
He goes
and
big
he's
there.
done it.
Looks like it could be going all the way, and it does. There we go. Good innings there from Pushpinder Jasal. So he retires on 50 runs off 40 balls. It is a difficult wicket to score quick runs on out there, so 50 off 40 normally in last man stands would be disappointing, but I think in the context of this game, that's a decent innings.
Especially when they had a few blokes having a real dip like around them, so I'd be pretty happy if one of the boys in my team got a 40 ball 50, as long as we had the blokes that could go. So I think Doc's coming in now, and he won't be holding back at all.
This is a big batsman coming in here, Darren O'Connell. This is a really big hitter. So he's the father of young Jake O'Connell, who batted at number 3 and got 38 today. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Just 3.1 overs to go. Scores 132. So Lydon, we'll just watch Darren's first ball, and then afterwards, you've played a lot of last man stands all around the world. Can you just pick out a couple of your highlights of where you've played, just after we've seen Darren's first ball?
Oh, and
there we go. That is
ball.
a big wicket. Darren O'Connell will be incredibly disappointed with that. He's a big batsman for them. He was second in the batting rankings at last year's Nationals. So for him to come in there and bag a golden duck.
If you could just get the camera to zoom in on it as he walks off, you might see a bit of a bat throw. Or
so he's looking remarkably composed at the moment.
He is actually. He could be also asking a bloke from over in the corner to come and have a word to him over in the car park.
So now, next batsman coming in is Wayne Herbert. So it's
that's big, because
it's been a bit of an implosion, to be honest, this innings so far. Like guys said the talent of Paul Marchese and Darren O'Connell coming in with the platform set after about 14 overs. You really thought that they were on for a huge score here. I was thinking 165 easy, and now they're looking like they'll do very well to get 155, 160. So
and now it's actually played quite well into the hands of Marty and his boys. They'll be pretty confident now, seeing those two in the sheds, and obviously the bloke retiring. They're a pretty smart side. They'll probably, I won't say they won't get the blokes out, but they'll be just throwing the ball in, and
this is Vaughan Oldham coming on,
making sure that they bowl good lines now and just restrict runs more than take wickets from this point onwards.
So Rohit just gets down the non-strikers end there to move on to 11 off 8. So this is Vaughan Oldham in his third over. He's had very tight figures so far. He's only gone for 5 runs off his 11 deliveries.
He's a good cricketer. He bowls good gas with good control and bats extremely well at the top of the order as well.
Okay, first ball for Wayne Herbert. Could come back for 2 there. Slightly lazy running, I'd say, there from Rohit Sharma when the batsman on strike reaches the non-striker's end, but when you're only 2/3 away down the wicket, you've got to ask a few questions, wouldn't you, Lydon? What's your running like between the wickets?
I wouldn't say mine would be any better. If I had hit that, I would have known Vaughan's a good fielder. I probably would have been happy with the one. But
skewed off down towards third man again. Brody Kenyon, the keeper, can't get round there because of his injury. Limping back to the stumps.
He also might have wanted the single just to get himself back on strike. Try to take onus on himself to be hitting with the wind down the track. But going back to the memories of playing around the world, I'd have to say South Africa was the best trip that I've personally been on.
Western Province Cricket Club.
There we go. There he goes.
Nice full ball there. So that's disappointing for Rohit Sharma, advancing down the wicket, trying to get it down towards that vacant fine leg area. Clean bowled for 13 off 10. Now the score moves on to 136 for 5 wickets. So they know that they've got Pushpinder in the shed. So yeah, that's the thing. Well, it'll be Pushpinder to come out to bat now. Again, when it's Sean Mills, sorry.
No,
Shane Mills. Shane Mills. I don't know Shane Mills so well. Do you know
no,
much about him?
They've got 7 and 8 now here, so either they push to get the wickets and have the bloke in the sheds having to play as last man stands, or they tactically try to keep these guys out by bowling outside off stump and getting a lot of dots.
It'd be a no-brainer, wouldn't it? You've only got another 11 deliveries to bowl. You've got a guy who's very capable of hitting a home run off the last ball, going back in set on 50, and it's not long ago since he's retired, so his eye's still going to be fairly well set. I can't imagine he's throwing down any beers off the pitch that would have put him off the rails.
I'd imagine he's over there giving a pep talk to the boys, getting them motivated to go on the field, and he's going to concentrate on his job if he has to come back out and bat again.
So this is a remarkable spell here from Vaughan Oldham. So now he's coming on to bowl last ball and just does that, and that's his third over down now. So that's 1 for 8 off 3 overs. I mean that's a brilliant spell in last man stands there.
Yeah, and they brought him in actually late for this game. He's had to work, and he's taken the day off because he's had a few injuries and stuff like that. So he's actually been a real big input into the team.
So, but you've also played last man stands cricket at Kensington Oval, at Lords. You played at international venues there, so they're not your favourite memories?
They're great. I was talking a trip as a whole. I thought South Africa, I don't know what it was. I guess it was my first the first overseas trip, being that the first World Cup was here. And it was just such a good environment. Like, people say it's a little bit scary and dangerous, but in Cape Town it was safest houses. We walked around.
A beautiful city, Cape Town.
Obviously.
There's Dave Fidship coming on for his last over now.
Well, that's a good shot.
It's
a better line to the left-hander as well.
Absolutely. So this Wayne Herbert on strike. So there's a bit of pressure here on the last two. They know that there's a guy on the sidelines who's got 50, chomping at the bit to come back out. So a bit of pressure to get bat and ball in a big way here.
Do you know there was actually there was only one world home run ever hit at Kensington Oval?
Deep, and it's just going to drop short. Poor fielding down there. Backward point, so it gives him another run there. Kensington Oval's a big pitch though for the last man standing.
Only one ever home run.
What was that?
That was me, yeah. It's the only reason I knew the stat. That's all. But no, we played against Pakistan there, and one of the players there hit an absolute phenomenal 100 against us in last
Dave Fitchett just coming on the pole here.
That's a good shot.
Beautiful outswing there again to the left-hander. Wayne Herbert 3 off 4. I didn't actually know that. Well done, Marty. There were a few home runs hit at the nursery ground at Lords. Sorry.
Leiden.
Both got dodgy moustaches.
I've worked really hard. I'm actually very proud of my moustache at the moment.
There you go. Not really getting hold of it here, Wayne Herbert. So that goes out deep. Brody Dwyer's going to pick it up, throw it in deep. He's coming back for the second, and
I don't think they want to take the wicket. They're going to have to at some point.
Absolutely.
They can't just let them take the twos.
Shoot. So Wayne Herbert now 5 off 5. Shane Mills at the non-strikers end, none off 1 so far, but doing some serious running. Looks like he's got a bit of a haircut going on there, Mills.
That's a good shape.
Fitchett again shapes it well. Kenyon won't be able to chase that, and it just runs away there quickly. So that's what they need. Just a boundary there. Give him a bit of that impetus. That's first boundary in a little while, actually.
Yeah.
The last few overs.
I wouldn't say it come in the most. I would say it's common fashion.
That's relatively common fashion for last man stands.
Actually, you could be right there. Hopefully, we see a lot more clean hitting from the.
My average would probably be about 10 runs in last man stands without that shot. So here we go. So last over coming up. So the score is now 144 for 5. That's the last over. You'd say that 150 is a decent score here. So Rock Lobsters would already be pretty happy.
Yeah, everything here is a bonus. And if they can get the bloke in the sheds back out to maybe face the last ball for the home run.
Absolutely. So Paul Oldham comes on the bowl his last over. Fantastic spell here.
He's bowled well.
Right into his legs. They're going to come back for 2 here, and it should be a comfortable 2. So, well played there from Shane.
I just feel like they've had their plans wrong today. They're bowling in at the pads. I don't know. I don't know if it's the wind pushing the ball across, or they've come in with a plan to maybe try take the wicket. That's a bit better. Outside off, get the single.
Corey Marshall comes in quick here at extra cover. They're coming back for the second. Marshall potentially to the wrong end there. As he said, Leiden, they're gifting them 2s, but that's potentially better than Pushpinder coming back in and hitting 6s at this stage?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't happen they get the wicket in the last ball of the over. That's it.
There you go. The batsman will be very disappointed to have let that one go through there.
Especially with a vacant third
last ball of the innings, vacant third man. His teammates will be just as you can hear from the shouting from the other side of the pitch. I think the teammates are
they're a very passionate team. They come here with the plan to win. Don't get me wrong, a lot of teams do, but
most of the best teams are, though, to be fair.
That's not what you want with one ball to go. Pushpinder comes on to strike. Here we go. So Pushpinder Jasal is going to come back in to face the last ball of the innings here. So as it's the last ball of the innings, if it's hit for 6 in last man stands, it's a home run. So that's worth 12 runs. A 4 is still a 4. So whatever he does here, is he's going to be going for a big swing.
hitting with the wind as well, you know, it's every chance of a home run. And the other thing about home runs, Leiden, as you'd know, is just the impact it has on the opposition, the momentum.
The momentum that it brings your side in. Cause
they're now 148, they could be 160 with a home run. So Pushpinder flexing those shoulders.
A dot ball here will lead. I reckon I would say the Rock Lobsters have probably slight advantage, but I don't think second 11 will be too worried about 148.
This is a big ball. 160 versus 148, 149 is a huge contrast. So here we go, last ball of the innings, Vaughan Oldham, Pushpinder just out. Goes
stayed
big.
low, they're going to get 4 byes.
That's Brody Kenyon be very disappointed with that behind the stumps. Marty Henderson will also be disappointed, but it ends a fantastic spell there from Vaughan Oldham. So that's 4 overs, 2 for 12. That's incredible figures there.
And the total 152, it's not out of reach, especially not for a team like you said that have won 2 Australian champs already, and looking to win the first world title for Australia in a couple of weeks in South Africa. So
absolutely. So that'll be, well, let's just wrap up this first. So the final score there is 152 for 6 from the Rock Lobsters from Wollongong. So Wollongong, for those of you overseas, is a city about 1 hour south of Sydney, a beautiful city with great beaches, lovely part of the country, the south coast of New South Wales. So they've been champions there many years in a row. They've reached 2 finals before Rock Lobsters. They'll be happy with that. 152. If you'd offered them anything over 150, I think they would have taken it. And Leiden, second 11. He just finished bowling. Their bowling figures: Marty Henderson 4 overs, none for 39. Vaughan Oldham, a great spell, 4 overs, 2 for 12. Dave Fitchett, 4 overs, 1 for 32. Cameron Ingle, 4 overs, none for 32. And Brodie Dwyer, fantastic spell, 4 overs, 3 for 28. So what are your thoughts based on the second 11 batting? So second 11 again, for those of you viewing, a local Queensland side from Ipswich, which is about 1.5 hours from where we are now on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, let's hope they just come out with a better plan than when they bowled. I would say that whatever side Rock Lobsters bowl from, they'll be definitely utilising the wind a little bit better, having either 2 left-handers open from one or 2 right-handers, depending on what end they start from.
So that's the advantage of having such a great combination of the order. Two good left-handed batsmen really gives you that flexibility with the wind.
They've left out their keeper Gaz this game. He'll be definitely back for the final, but I think it does actually it definitely strengthens their batting a little bit, having that extra bat. So they probably do bat down to 6 or 7 pretty with strikers.
So what's the story behind him not playing this and just
well, Brody Kenyon with his injury will probably sit out the final, but they just thought his strike hitting in this game will probably be needed, and he's just such a clean hitter of the ball, Brody Kenyon, so they decided to strap up what they could do and just see if he can go with it and just get some quick runs for them.
Well, it is a big innings for Brody Kenyon here, because he would be one of the picks that you would have thought would be the running for batsman of the tournament. But that injury really would have hit his chances. I'm
a bit biased, and just because I see more of these guys play cricket than I see of the Rock Lobsters, but I'd have to say Brody Kenyon's probably one of the best batsmen that I've seen in this tournament, and he definitely strikes the ball better than most. So it's definitely not out of reach.
Brodie Dwyer, the man in form, though.
Yeah, but Brodie Dwyer can only do a good enough job when he has those other blokes around him hitting. Like Brodie's the kind of guy. Dwyer is the kind of guy that's going to get you the 33, 34 ball 50s, and on a good day the 25s. They've got a few blokes in that team that can really get a low, like a high teens, low 20s, 50, and really change the game real quick. So.
Absolutely. And what about the Rock Lobsters bowling attack? Who are the players that we should be looking out for there, do you think?
I actually think they all bowl well. They'll come out with a plan, and they'll know exactly what they want to do, and they'll stick to it. They've got a few good swing bowlers and a couple of guys that hit the deck really hard. So it's going to be a great contest. It'll just be who executes a little bit better now, I think, from here.
Well, thanks for that, Leiden. I feel that you need to go off and get yourself a beer to recover from that commentary.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for your thoughts, and hopefully see you at the World Series next year in England.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll see you at Cape Town, though.
I'll see you before then. So we're mid-innings here between second 11 and Rock Lobsters. semi-final of the 2017 Australian Championships being held at Runaway Bay Cricket Club on the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. This is actually the home of the Australian Championships. 6th tournament to be held here. It's fantastic facilities, 6 pitches, very social clubhouse in the middle of all of them. Great turf deck, as all of you will see out there. And the Gold Coast is an incredibly fun place to visit, so it's always popular with all our teams. So there's been 33 teams involved in the tournament this year from all over Australia. Sadly, we didn't have a team from Tasmania this year, but outside of Tasmania, pretty much everywhere else was represented. The teams that we got out here on finals day, 3 of the 4 are from Queensland and the other from New South Wales, so a bit disappointing for the New South Wales and Victorian and South Australian sides that haven't really had a very good tournament, particularly given the number of teams that have come from those areas. But this match is very much in the balance here. Strong Rock Lobsters bowling attack coming in. The Wollongong guys are a very sharp outfit. They won't give much away here. But then the second 11 have really got some of their top batsmen in fine form this tournament, so it's going to be close either way. You can't see second 11 getting rolled here, but Rock Lobsters certainly aren't going to give them anything. We're yet to see who's going to open the batting for second 11. It's interesting because a lot of it will also depend on which end the first 10 overs are bowled from, because there's really quite a wind here today at Runaway Bay. So if they're bowling from the far end, down near the marquee, away from the camera, that is hitting into the wind. Apart from if you're a left-hander, and then you'll be hitting towards the clubhouse. So it's how they use their left-handers. 2 of their top 4 batsmen are left-handers, so it'll be interesting to see what Marty does here. Marty is the second 11 captain, who he'll be disappointed with his outing with the ball there. He's one of the top players in the tournament and has been this year, over 10,000 runs, true LMS legend. Not quite sure how many wickets, but it would certainly be over 250, that's for sure. So he's one of the favourites for the Australian all-rounder spot, which will be up for grabs after the final today in the World Series next year, which is be taking place in Chester in northwest England at the Chester Broughton Hall Cricket Club. Fantastic venue up in northwest England. I'm joined here again by Steve Emmett, who's the South Coast manager for Last Man Stand. So he knows these Rock Lobsters lads well. So Steve, what are your thoughts there? Like, do you think the Rock Lobsters are happy with that score of 152, or do you think that they'll be disappointed having set a real platform to go way bigger?
Yeah, I think they were probably looking for at least sort of mid 160s, so maybe 10 to 15 runs short of what they would have liked. In saying that, though, their bowling attack is quite strong. They don't give too many cheap runs away in terms of extras, wides and things like that, so it's going to go down to the wire, I think, this one.
Who are the bowlers, in your opinion, to look out for in the Rock Lobsters attack here?
Yeah, so the father and son combination of Jake and Darren O'Connell, they've sort of cleaned up all tournament. They've gotten majority of the wickets between themselves. Jake with his left arm swing, it'll be interesting to see how they use him, whether they keep him for the with the breeze or into it, but he gets a lot of swing, whereas Darren, his old man, he's more of a hit the deck type bowler, and bowls a lot of cutters. Pushy, who hit that 50 off 40, I think it was. He can bowl either medium pace or leg spin, so he's got a bit of variety there. And they'll also be looking for Rohit Sharma to bowl 4 overs, and he just pretty much hits a 20-cent piece every ball, very very much straight up and down. Can swing it away. But yeah, they'll be looking to those guys to get the job done here. Nathan Tyrrell's the other one probably who'll get some overs, and again he can bowl spin or sort of pace, left arm. So they've got a lot of variety, I guess, which is in their favour. In terms of the batting, though, what are your thoughts on this second 11 lineup?
Who we've got that Brodie Dwyer definitely opening the batting out there. So one of the big left-handers, Brodie Dwyer, probably definitely one of the top 3 form batsmen of this tournament. He's really come out and played hard here. Again, he's a veteran of last man stands. He's very experienced. So he's down here at the non-strikers end. So we'll just be getting going.
Interesting, the Lobsters have opted to bowl into the wind to start with.
Absolutely. So, well, they obviously predicted that second 11 were going to open with 2 left-handers. So
Yep.
Marty Henderson has decided to go with that.
Yep.
2 left-handers who'll be pretty much hitting into the wind on the leg side.
Yep.
So potentially first blood Rock Lobsters, you'd say, in this innings.
Tactically.
So we got Vaughan Oldham opening up here. Very good cricketer. Both these lads are top cricketers, and we got Darren O'Connell bowling from this end.
Yep.
Father of Jake.
And skipper Paul Marchese with the gloves on behind the stumps.
Very good all-round cricketer, Paul Marchese. Here we go, first ball. The pad's first up, so that'll be a leg by. So Marchese is an all-round cricketer. He's the captain of this team, the keeper, and you'd know his stats better than I do, but I know that they're incredible all-round cricketing stats.
Yeah, he's. I think he's number 5 in the world at the moment for batting.
That's out of 140,000 players
Yeah.
ranked worldwide, so that's a good stat.
I'm not sure, but he must be in the top couple of keepers as well. Often will pick up stumping, standing up to the medium paces, and obviously the spinners as well. Not too many get through him. So
big full ball, big step forward. So not much luck there. Darren O'Connell seems to think that was closer than the umpire. What about it? But even his batting, he's got quite incredible batting stats, doesn't he? This Paul Marchese, the keeper that we're talking about.
He's chalked up 5,000 runs recently, considering he's only been playing since 2012.
Outside, so that's Vaughan Oldham out to long off just for the single.
That's one to keep an eye on in the field today. Is Jake O'Connell. He's got a rocket left arm.
So Jake O'Connell, the young 16-year-old son of the bowler here. So Darren, his father, bowling. Tight start here from O'Connell. On the pads again. So 4 balls bowled, just 3 runs scored. So second 11 under a little bit of early pressure here.
Yeah, they'll be looking to get one away and just ease this pressure here.
Again on the pads. Big appeal. O'Connell with a few big appeals there, putting the pressure on the umpire. So again, staying strong. So that's the end of the first over there. Score is 4 runs after the first over. So the required run rate 7.84. 153 the required target. So it's looking like young Jake O'Connell is going to come on to replace his father. O'Connell's taken a lot of wickets this tournament. Very talented young player. So young Jake coming on the bowl now. So Brody Dwyer facing up here. Single into the leg side. There's an interesting battle within a battle here, Steve, because if you look at the top ranked players from this tournament, so the guys that are up for selection for Australia, the other semi-final actually didn't have any players up in there really for the running. While this game you've got several players, and one of which here, Jake O'Connell bowling, and then the non-striker Brody Dwyer. They're almost direct rivals for one of those spots. So there we go. So great delivery there from young O'Connell. Got it to move away a bit. It'll nick through to Paul Marchese, so that's the start that Rock Lobsters were after. So, little nick behind there. So just between wickets, that first wicket down. Vaughan Oldham would be disappointed with that. He's a very good batsman, so he falls for 1 of 3 balls, caught behind by Paul Marchese, the captain.
It brings Marty to the crease, does it, Rob? Is that him walking out there?
Marty Henderson. This does look like Marty Henderson coming to
Confident
the crease.
stride he has.
He doesn't normally come in this high. He's obviously decided that in this match context, he's the man that's needed out there.
Showing his leadership qualities here.
Absolutely. He'd normally come in at number 4, normally number 5, Marty Henderson. So, yeah, it's obviously a bit of a tactical play here somehow.
And that method of dismissal, Bold O'Connell caught Marchese, is how he's got a lot of his wickets up here so far in the tournament.
So
putting on a good line of length and having the batsman come after him.
So does he swing it both ways, or?
Yeah, he can do. He generally bowls big in swingers to right-handers.
Marty Henderson's first ball.
That's what he's done there.
Swings right in there. So Marty, the second 11 captain, just scuttling through for a couple of leg byes there. Are they going to get back to 3? So, second over here of the second semi-final of the Australian Champs. Pressure on here, the second 11 top order. Jake O'Connell, the bowler, only 16 years old, and he's had an incredible tournament. Goes in again, Brodie Dwyer, dot ball. Good start here from Wollongong's Rock Lobsters. Second 11 not really getting going here, struggling to get clean bat on ball. So that's the end of the second over, and it's a good start there from Jake O'Connell, following up from his father. So both the O'Connells just going for 2 runs off each of their first overs.
Picking up that early wicket.
Big wicket there from Jake O'Connell. Vaughan Oldham gone. These two have got a huge amount of LMS experience at the crease, though, Brodie Dwyer and Marty Henderson. And as I say, that combination with young Jake O'Connell coming back there, far and away the likeliest 3 players to be selected for Australia based on the rankings there. Yeah. O'Connell comes in for his second over. Brodie Dwyer puts it down a backward point just for the single there.
It's interesting because Jake's had a tournament where you could easily pick him for his batting or his bowling. That's how much he's dominated.
Absolutely. Similar with Brodie Dwyer. They're both right up there at the top of the all-rounder rankings. That's the kind of delivery that's been very effective so far today. A bit wider outside off stump, trying to force them to hit into the wind. Good dot ball there.
They've also left a really big gap there, out square. So sort of tempting that exact shot.
Go wide down the leg side. O'Connell will be disappointed with that. Relieves a slight bit of the pressure on Marty Henderson, who he likes to get going early. He won't want to be tied down, that's for sure.
Particularly hitting with the wind. I'm sure that'll be at the back of the second 11 batsmen's minds.
That's a good point. It's bunted up in the air there.
Ooh.
Just dropped safe. Looked like Marchese lost it for a moment
didn't
there
pick
behind
up
the stumps.
Yeah, the flight of the ball.
Went towards the leg side and then it bunted down on the offside. Bowler expecting his keeper to go for that, so that's a definite chance missed there. A bit of a miscommunication. So O'Connell comes back to bowl his 4th delivery of this second over. Very tight start here from the Rock Lobsters, really putting the pressure on second 11. Good bowling from O'Connell, so real pressure on here. Marty Henderson now 1 off 5 balls, and that one that he's scored has come off a wide. Marty Henderson hits that one out deep, so that is into that region with the gap, which is why they get 2 there. It's a big gap between deep backward point and cover, which is what they're trying to hit into. So that's 3 overs gone now. Score 13 for 1. The required run rate is now 8.24. 153 the target.
And with that required rate, generally teams don't like when it gets over 10 and over, particularly this early in the game. So they'll be looking to pick up lots of 2s and wait for that bad ball to put to the boundary.
Absolutely. So young O'Connell comes back into the attack. Another solid delivery, really putting the pressure on the batsman here. It's into the offside just for 1. Marty Henderson, the man on strike now, will be the one who's feeling more pressure to score runs quickly here. Brodie Dwyer down this end is more of a composed batsman, happy to accumulate. So Marty into the offside, he'll just get the 1 there, running quickly. So if the Rock Lobsters get through to the final then here, Steve, would they make any team changes, do you think, or is this their first choice 8?
Yeah, they subbed out Jose Villa, who's played a lot of games for him earlier in the tournament, for Shane Mills, who batted number 8 today for him. Millsy's got an absolute rocket arm in the field. Not sure that he'll bowl today in this semi, but yeah, his arm alone is was worth a spot in the team today.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Importance of fielding in last man stands. Only 8 players aside in last man stands, so those 6 players that aren't bowling or keeping are crucial.
Exactly.
Not like I saw your side, some of those fielders this tournament in Old Iraq. And I hear they're going to the World Championships as well, so a bit of want to raise their game there. Jake O'Connell comes into bowl. A good line again outside off stump, really making the second 11 batsmen have to work for their runs here. Just another single there for Marty Henderson. He moves on to 5 off 8 balls. Score now 17 for 1 after 3.4. It's another great over here from young Jake O'Connell.
Marty's probably looked at this in terms of what bowlers are coming, and
so that should come back for 2 there. That's good running there from Brodie Dwyer. He saw the opportunity early, set off quickly.
yeah, well run.
So that's 4 overs gone now. Scored 19 for 1. So Steve, what were you saying about Saul?
Yeah, so tactically, I think he's probably told his batsmen, you know, that the O'Connells are the ones that they can't afford to lose too many wickets to, and probably okay to only take them for 6 or 7 and over, and I think they'll be targeting probably Pushy and his spin, because he's gone for a few runs this tournament. So tactically, he's probably okay to not really get that run rate too high.
There's Darren O'Connell back into bowl again, father of the previous bowler. Wonder how often outside of Rock Lobsters you'd see a father-son combination playing in a national final. It's been mentioned multiple times today that a lot of the top teams around Australia seem to be, Rock Lobsters aren't young, but they've obviously got a talented young player, but so many of the better teams are now those, O'Connell coming in, down the leg side. They'd be disappointed with that. Other young rep cricketers and grade cricketers that are seeming to be playing last man stands on the side, especially hours of season. You see in the winter season when all those grade players aren't playing, and it's shown here. A couple of the Sydney sides that have come up, full of 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and they're some of the best teams in the competition. They're winning their regional titles, so it's a very social game, last man stands, but there's some serious winter talent coming in there.
Definitely.
So there you go, father-son combination. This time Jake fielding at long off. It's very tight here. Boundaries extremely hard to come by. You just sense that second 11 are really under the pump here. Rock Lobsters are
tightening the screws.
Absolutely. Every ball that there's not a boundary scored is just increasing that pressure
builds.
Marty again mistiming that shot. That's what happens. Normally you'd be expecting to cream that through the covers, and now 6 off 10 balls. Marty Anderson. Brody down the other end is not out on 10. There's the leg side there. Goes out quickly.
Much needed boundary for the second.
Just as we were talking about the lack of boundaries, that's a gift there, and they'll be very disappointed with that. Is that Rohit Sharma?
Rohit Sharma, yeah.
Rohit will be disappointed. O'Connell will be probably putting his back into this delivery after that. I can't imagine he'd be too impressed with that. Marty gives himself room, unorthodox, goes through.
And another dot ball as a result.
So 5 overs, score is just 26 for 1 after 5.
How's that required rate looking, Rob?
So the required rate now up to 8.47 and over. 153 the target, so it's now 75 balls left with 5 ball overs. 127 runs required. It's getting to that stage, as you said earlier, it's once it gets over 2 runs a ball required that it gets incredibly difficult.
Yep. Particularly given 50 of the balls that are going to be delivered of the next 75 will be with the batsman hitting into the wind.
Absolutely. That's what we have to remember here is second 11 are hitting with the wind towards the camera at the moment, so they want to make hay here. Jake O'Connell onto the pads. They'll be looking to come back for 2, which they should easily do here. That's good running from Brodie Dwyer. Just sense that they need 2 or 3 overs in a row with 10 or more runs here, just in each over, just to relieve that pressure. Otherwise, the run rate's really, required run rate's really building. So young O'Connell coming in for his second delivery. There you go. It's a bit streaky, but they all count here. There's a lot streakier shots than that you see in last man stands pretty regularly, so beats backward point.
You often find with LMS the early part of the over dictates how the over will then eventuate. So 2 off the first ball, a boundary off the second, pressure's right back on Jake here to...
So how's the 16-year-old going to respond here? Jake O'Connell. Solid cricket there. Good ball there, good response from Jake O'Connell. Brodie happy with the previous 2 deliveries. Brodie Dwyer. Again, as I say, this is a big competition here. These 2 are the front runners in the all-rounder spot for the Australia team. So
battle within a battle.
Battle within a battle, absolutely. Jake will be well aware of that. He'll know that if he gets Brodie Dwyer out, then he's a long way towards assuring himself that spot up. So interesting dynamics here. I'm sure his father's well aware of that fact as well, Darren O'Connell.
I think so. So 7 off these first 4 balls.
They really need
Marty on strike for the last ball.
Marty Anderson now 10 off 12 balls. He'll really be looking for a boundary to get him going here.
Going to look for that leg side again. I think
he's
Rob.
leaving himself a bit of space.
Oh
God, lucky edge there. It's rolling away. Well, there you go. They all count. And that's a big moment there for Marty Anderson. Straight away moves to 14 off 13, so the pressure's off the skipper there. 11 off the over. That's what second 11 needed to get going there. They've got their two of their big players at the crease now. 1 on 17, 1 on 10. 3 overs bowled by each of the O'Connells. So
Yep.
a little bit of pressure off there as well, knowing that you got through 6 of those overs just for the loss of 1 wicket.
Definitely.
So
Looks like they're keeping an over up the sleeve for Darren for later in the game, and bringing on Nathan Tyrrell to bowl his left armers.
So Nathan Tyrrell to bowl his left armers, and as we've said multiple times this game, the #1 ranked last man stands batsman in the world.
Yep. He's a handy bowler. I think he's around the 900s or so in terms of ranking for bowling.
Yeah,
See if he's
if you're
going
inside the top 1,000, that's impressive in last man stands.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to bowl some spin here. Some off spin.
What's the latest count? I think the latest count is about 133,000 players in the rankings. So if you're in the top 1,000 of that, you're still a useful bowler, especially here in Australia, where there's a lot of synthetic decks and it's tough for the bowlers.
It's
As you see when you look at the global rankings, so many of the batters from Australia dominating. There you go. Decent first ball from Nathan Tyrrell. Brody Dwyer out to long on. They're coming back for 2. Marty's quick though, he should make that comfortably. Excellent running from the skipper at the non-strikers end there. Score 39 after 6.1 overs. So the lack of pace here, and they're inviting Brody Dwyer to hit into the wind,
Come
try
down
and
the
take
wicket.
on the spinner.
Yep.
Good full ball there from Tyrrell. It's an excellent start to the over from him. Slight pause here as the keeper gets his gloves ready. Bit of time for Marty to squat down and rest his tired limbs. He lives life in the fast lane, Marty Henderson, so probably does need to have a little break here and there. Good ball there from Tyrrell. Marchese will be disappointed with that behind the stumps.
Was there an inside edge on that one? No. It's called that buys. Bit of variability in the bounce. You'd expect on the turf.
Well, if you look back over past years, sides that have decent spinners do very well on finals day on these decks. A lot of pressure on the batsmen to score quick runs, and there's a lot out there for the spinners.
One of our co-commentators, Trav Harker, does his finest work out here on the turf.
Absolutely.
Little left arm tweakers.
You'd say that the fact that it's a spinner's wicket is heavily linked to the fact that the president of the club is a spinner. Big shot there, and that is just clearing Rohit Sharma out there at deep mid wicket. So Marty Henderson, the skipper, now beginning to get going. So that takes him to 20 off 14 balls. So the pressure really off Marty Henderson now. He battled through those first 10 deliveries and
showed his experience in not losing his head, waiting for the ball to hit.
And as Steve said earlier, this is the time that Marty's going to be targeting those hits with the wind. That's why he's out there early. He's out there to hit those big shots over mid wicket with the wind.
He's reverted to his medium paces now.
Another good shot there, but he's hit it pretty well out to long off. So that's Pushpinder Jasal throwing the ball back into Nathan Tyrrell there. So Pushpinder, good innings with the bat today, 50 off 41 balls.
A bit slow by his standards.
He's also had a terrific tournament, so he's in the running for the Australia spots. Score is now 47 for 1 off 7 overs. So the required run rate now at 8.15, so this is making for a terrific game of last man stands here. It's quickly turned into the balance. The last couple of overs have been solid overs. Another new bowler coming on, and Steve, what can you tell us about this bowler?
I think it's still Jake.
There you go. We all know about Jake O'Connell. Should have seen by the number.
He's going to bowl 4 straight. Which is
Marty Henderson trying to be clever there. So Jake O'Connell is going to bowl 4 straight here. It's 3.1 overs, 1 for 19 at the moment. So the young lad has done terrifically well.
He's actually bowled all of his overs into the breeze this whole tournament. It seems to be working really well for the Lobsters.
So
getting
that's
some good in-swing into the right-handers.
So do we question the effort of some of the older Rock Lobsters players then, getting the young lad to bowl into that?
A couple couple of dots here.
Great ball there from Jake O'Connell. Again, that line outside off stump, forcing the batsman to hit into the wind.
Sense another shift to the offside here, and Marty's going to be looking for that clubhouse
Absolutely.
area.
Can't imagine
On the
him
leg
not.
side.
He's definitely going to walk across the stumps here, Jake O'Connell. Not quite. It's wide down the leg side, so that helps relieve a little bit of the pressure off this over. Just 2 more runs and then the 50 comes up for second 11. There'll be a third of the way there. Just over a third of the over's gone. Oh, he's hitting nasty there. Oh, yep, he's taking a nasty one there,
That's
Marty.
where you don't want to be hit.
Take a bit of recovery here. Still 1 ball left in the over.
Always funny when it's not you, Rob.
Always funny when it's not me. But I can't imagine getting hit by a 16-year-old would hurt that much, let's be honest.
Oh.
So are there any other young players in this Rock Lobsters side, or is it?
Not really. It's sort of, you've just got Jake. Probably the second youngest after that would be Wayne Herbert, who came in at number 7 today. Probably got a 9 or 10 off 6 or 7 balls, I think, at the death there, left-hander. He sometimes keeps for them. But yeah, it's quite an experienced side in terms of age. Skipper Paul Marchese's mid-40s, as is Darren O'Connell. Jake obviously young. Rohit and Pushy are both late 20s, early 30s.
Okay, so a bit of a mixture going on
Yeah.
there. So pause in play here as second 11 skipper Marty Henderson recovers his composure after a nasty hit from Jake O'Connell. So given the batsman and situation there, it's good that we didn't invest in stump mics for this tournament.
Yeah, agree. It looks like he's. It might have been inside of the knee, Rob, where he's been hit there.
Could seriously affect
flexing
his
he's doing.
bowling, maybe.
Yeah.
Just get a bit of ice on it, he'll be alright.
Well, no, Marty, maybe a can of bourbon, cold can of bourbon on there.
Cold can of bourbon, absolutely. Does like a bourbon, old Marty Henderson. As any of you that will be there at the World Series next year may well see, given that he's right up there in the rankings. Not sure if bourbon and coke's a big thing in England though, really. I think he could be struggling up in Chester to find many bourbon and cokes.
Never been a big beer man, has he?
Marty, no. Can't imagine him off the bourbon and cokes.
He's bowled him.
Go, full ball. So
He's played that on, did he?
Here we go.
Big wicket.
Big wicket there in the game.
Huge.
So that's Marty Henderson, the second 11 captain. Second last ball of young Jake O'Connell's spell. It's a brilliant spell so far. 2 for 20. Just that full ball onto the stumps. Marty will be disappointed with that. He'd got his iron, he was getting going, he'd hit the 6.
Yep.
22 off 20.
Yeah, in the context of this game, breaking that partnership at this point could potentially be huge for the Lobsters. They were just getting into a rhythm, both those batsmen, and Marty looks like he may have sustained an injury as well that previous ball. So
Absolutely. They need his 4 overs, that's for sure. So better get that ice on that knee so that Marty can they've already bowled so for the final, which they're
potentially
struggling
the
to
final.
reach at the moment. But I mean, Hayden Donnellan, he's had a terrific tournament as well. So
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
So, is this the wicketkeeper coming out now to bat?
so
is
the
this another Brody?
scorecard, the scorecard will be being changed here, judging by that limp, I think, because that looks like it's Brody Kenyon coming out to bat. So this is Brody Kenyon, who's former Australian batsman of the tournament, one of the best bats in Australia. Very
Can hit a
attractive
very long
batsman
ball
to watch. But he's going to be very handicapped here because of the fact that he pulled his quad 2 days ago.
Yeah, so
And had an arse. Well, it's probably a big tear of his quad actually, and he really just can't run as you would have seen with the keeping. So
most likely going to be looking for 4s, 6s, or singles.
Absolutely.
Can't see too many 2s or 3s being run. Judging by the way he walked out to the crease there.
getting ready for those big shots. He's showing his intent there out there. I think we could be O'Connell gets the nick first up.
Ooh,
There
French
we go.
cut.
French cut, but you know, take it any way you can, especially if you can't run. So there we go. Fantastic spell there though from young Jake O'Connell,
spell,
just
Bowen.
16 years old. So he follows up his 38 off 22 with the bat, with 4 overs, 2 for 24. In the context
Yep.
of bowling into the wind, with batsmen looking to go after him and hit
Yep.
over mid wicket, to just go for 6 runs and overs, a
Huge.
incredible spell
Yep.
there, Steve. So who have we got coming on to bowl now? Nathan Tyrrell again.
Tyrrell's going to continue, yep.
So the slow left armers. While you got Brodie Dwyer, the left-hander out there, this is a good tactic to get him to hit into the wind. Bit of pressure building now on Brodie Dwyer. 9th over just starting, scores 52, so now 101 required off 12 overs. So it's all about that 2 runs a ball that you spoke about earlier, Steve. They're still well ahead of that, but
they've started the opposite end to the Lobsters. That's going to be playing on their minds too.
So there we go. Rohit Sharma out at cover, gets it back into Nathan Tyrrell, the world's #1 ranked batsman.
Yeah, I reckon they would have been targeting 80 to 85 off this first 10 with the wind. So
That was actually pretty good running by someone with a torn quad.
ooh,
Let him go. He's a brave man, that Brodie Kenyon.
another 2.
Muscling through the pain. He looks like he's really struggling to come back for that second. This is going to be difficult for them, judging by those first 2 balls of this over.
So it's a quad injury, you said, Rob?
Pretty sure it's a quad. He seemed to be holding his quad when I saw him get injured. I haven't actually had as much of a chance as I would like to speak to the second 11 boys this tournament, so I'm not quite sure what it is. Good ball there from Tyrrell, outside off stump. Pressure just builds a little bit more.
Outswing away from the left-hander there with the breeze, pushing across the ground from left to right.
So Brodie Dwyer now 23 off 22, the batsman on strike, having opened the batting. Solid shot there from Dwyer.
And for 2.
It's going to push the crippled Kenyon back for 2. This brave running here from Brodie Kenyon, he's doing very well, but you wonder how much it's going to impact on his batting when he actually gets strike again.
I'm actually a little bit surprised the Lobsters aren't targeting the end he's running to every time with their returns, their
Absolutely.
throws.
Tyrrell down the leg side, turned away. Brodie Dwyer could have taken the wide there, but he felt that he needed to get Kenyon running again, so... It's the 9th over now finished, scores 59 for 2 after 9. So, game in the balance here. Tight bowling by the Rock Lobsters.
Lobsters have probably just got their nose in front here at this stage of the game. As Pushy comes on to bowl some leg spin.
Yeah, if that's alright. So once I sit down, that's it. That's it.
Looks as though Pushy's going to bowl his medium paces here.
So this Pushpinder Jasal coming on to bowl, who earlier got 50 opening the batting for Rock Lobsters, so held their innings together. Brodie Dwyer off his legs again, down a deep fine leg. He should be able to come back to 2 here for 2, and he does. Solid running from Dwyer. So 61 with 4 balls to go until the turn, until the halfway point when they bowl their 10 overs from the other end, and they'll be hitting into the wind there. But at least Brody, the left-hander, still in there. Out to long off there. Darren O'Connell, ball back into Pushpinder Jasal. So you'd think with the second 10, Brody Dwyer set on 29, it shouldn't take him too long to get to 50.
That's going to be
hitting with the wind.
That's going to be really important for him to get himself retired and to 50 as quick as possible. Pushy again showing his versatility here. He's mixing it up, started off bowling medium pace to Brody, the left-hander. Now he's bowling leg spin to the right-hander. So
interesting, and he's got hold of that, and that clears the fielder there. So that's Brody Kenyon showing his value, even with the injury. Clears the fence there, and that takes him to 10 off just 3 balls so far. Obviously, one was the Chinese cut, but you get your runs whichever way they come. So that just shows his clean hitting. Just the third ball, clears deep mid-wicket,
giving a really good boost to the run rate for the boys.
Required run rate as it stands at the moment is 8.3. 85 runs needed from 51 balls. Dwyer again now on strike. The 2 Brodies at the crease here. Kenyon earlier in the tournament was looking like he could be in a running for one of the Australia spots, but fallen away a bit with the injury and the sheer good form of Marty Henderson and Brody Dwyer, really.
Overshadowed by some of his teammates. So that's a change of ends for the 10 overs. Lobsters will be reasonably pleased, I think, with the position they're in.
Absolutely. So you would have thought if the first 10 overs had been bowled from the other end, you'd almost say that second 11 were almost favourites here.
It'd be a good result, yes.
But just due to the ends and the strength of this wind, they've already lost one of their left-handers here, second 11. So we've got about 20 runs for Brody Dwyer to get here to really take advantage of hitting with the wind. So he'll be looking for a couple of sixes here, just to over mid-wicket with the wind, just to relieve the pressure on the lower order. So 84 runs required from 50 balls in this second Australia Championships semi-final. This for a spot in the final against the Park Cricketers, who are the home side from Gold Coast. So will it be Wollongong or will it be Ipswich to take on Gold Coast in the final?
And haven't they surprised a few teams and people? The Park Cricketers.
Very nice young bunch of guys, well behaved, very polite.
Love their cricket.
Managed to muscle through schoolies to still get to a final of a tournament. Leg by Nathan Tyrrell. Brody Kenyon gets down the other end now. Schoolies, for those of you that don't know, happen once a year here in the Gold Coast. Anyone that's finished their high school basically experiences alcohol in a big way for the first time. So the fact that the young lads have managed to get up and play 8:30 games and win a lot of cricket despite all that is very impressive.
I think they're going to slot in well to the LMS culture.
I think so. Good ball there from Nathan Tyrrell. Squirts off the outside edge out to, they're going to go for 2 here.
Looks to be moving a bit better now.
Absolutely. Easing up.
Might have just been a case of getting it warm.
Absolutely. See if he can still walk for the final there after this. If they get that far. 81 required from 48 balls now. Dwyer trying to go big there. That's the shot he'll be looking for now, to hit with the wind down over mid-wicket. So Nathan Tyrrell, 2.3 overs, none for 19 at the moment.
Yeah, and he's one of those bowlers that I was discussing earlier that the second 11 batsman would be targeting.
Absolutely. Well, he's getting through these overs pretty safely at the moment. context of this game, you'd take 7 runs and over from Nathan Till. Brody Dwyer on strike, unbeaten on 32. Going down the pitch, that's the shot he was looking for. Hitting with the wind, he hasn't got quite enough on it though, and it's well held there at deep mid wicket. That's a big wicket.
Good take by Wayne Herbert out there in Cow Corner.
That was in the air a long time and would have been swirling a bit with the wind, so he held his composure well there, because that is a huge wicket. Brody Dwyer joining Vaughan Oldham and Marty Henderson in the sheds now. 32 off 29. He got well set there. He would have been looking to go on from there. So that's a big hit for the second 11, especially losing their left-hander who would now be hitting with the wind.
Yes. Yep.
Interestingly enough, they managed to steal 2 runs there though. So another last man stands rule on a catch. That can be a double play. So if the batsman is out of if a non-strike batsman is out of their crease, you can throw down the bowler's end and get out the non-striker on the same ball. But on the other hand, if a non-striker runs 2 down the striker's end and back, then you can steal 2 extras. So on that wicket,
they still picked up the 2 runs.
Picked up 2 runs.
Yep.
Always an interesting way to finish a game when a couple of runs is needed off the last ball and there's a catch and you still lose the game.
Yep, that's right. Got to be very switched on.
Did notice that LMS institution Sharan Fernando from In and Outs missed that trick yesterday.
Yeah, I heard that.
Very surprising from Sharan given his LMS experience. Good player Sharan Fernando, just to make him feel better about himself though.
Prop him up.
Brody Kenyon now 12 off 6 balls. He's joined at the crease by Hayden Donlan, who also has had a terrific tournament. Hayden a bit more of a bigger hitter early on than Brody Dwyer, so at this stage that's what's required. Ooh, so a bit of space here. 2 behind square, pretty comfortable 2 there. So Pushpinder obviously going with the spin here to try and get the guys to hit to the leg side into the wind.
Yep. Good tactic again. Playing the conditions.
Some very brave innings here from Brody Kenyon. Really shouldn't be playing, and he's 14 off 7. That's not quite into the gap. They'll only pick up 1 there, surely.
You can see he's getting some good bounce here. Pushy.
Absolutely.
Putting plenty of revs on the ball.
He always opens batting then, Pushpinder, does he?
He didn't last year for them, but yeah, he's...
Oh, great ball there. Beautiful turn, beats the outside edge.
Textbook leg spin delivery.
That's a good ball first up for Hayden Donlan to face. I want to see that.
Good one.
Darts it in. Donlan off the mark. Be looking for 2, but the injured Brody Kenyon down the other end.
Only 3 off this over so far, Rob? Or is that 4 now?
That's now 4 off the over.
Yep.
4 deliveries bowled, so this is the last ball in the over.
Need a big shot. Just a single.
Cuts it down there to Darren O'Connell. So that's the over bowled. So Pushpinder Jasal now 2 overs, none for 15. So he started well. 81 off 12 overs. So 8 overs to go. Required run rate now 9 and over. So our favourite commentator, Travis Harker, is back in the booth now. So Travis, president of Runaway Bay Cricket Club and terrific spinner himself. So Travis, welcome back, and I'll leave you. What do you think of that spin bowling from Pushpinder there? Is that one of the great spin bowlers that you've seen on this wicket, or does it?
No one's ever as good as me. Come on, Rob. Should know that. I've bowled to you before. It didn't look too bad, but it's a good idea taking the pace off, but.
Yeah, agree.
There's the council sweep street cleaner drives behind us.
Oh, ouch. Marchese, he's copped one there somewhere in the head off a nasty bounce. He's as tough as nails, Cheese.
Is he?
It'll take more than that to keep him down, I think.
He's the oldest fella in the side, isn't he?
He is. He has been in the wars a bit this season, actually, as well.
Has he?
Back in Wollongong, he's copped some nasty ones. Keeping, not so much batting, but copped from a sweep shot. Player from the opposition followed through with his sweep shot, and his bat collected him flush on the cheekbone. So he had a nice egg for a couple of weeks there.
Ouch! That'll teach him to get too close. He's all right. He's only in the shoulder. Toughen up. Fair bit of support staff running out onto the ground, as you can see.
Yeah, bit of concern for the skip.
I don't know why one bloke's actually walking away from the... I can't figure that one out. He actually looks like he's walking to the square leg umpire. Where's he going now? What's he doing?
Oh,
Oh,
water for the boys.
Oh, there you go. He's in the game.
Good team, man.
He's in the game. Looks like he just got some magic spray, the old fella.
So we got Rohit Sharma here, who's bowled. This is his first over by looks of things. Bowls stump to stump. Keeps things tight generally. We'll be looking to take the ball away from the right hander here.
Perfect wind to do so.
Yeah.
That's 2 more to Brody. It's not bad for a bloke batting on one leg.
Yeah, he's seems to be enjoying his work the last few balls.
Yeah. Another single, but it looks like the guys need to get a bit more of a wriggle on. They need 68 from 38 balls. It's almost getting to 2 a ball stage, which gets starting to get a bit desperate. There's that shape.
How's the vibe been, Trav, from your perspective this time round?
The vibe's been pretty good. I think the thing is about having the competition in the same place every time. Guys know what to expect.
Yeah.
And so they tend to enjoy themselves a bit more from year to year. Saying that, a few of the older heads learn to pace themselves a bit more. Not like some. But yeah, no, it's been good, guys. It's probably the weather's been the only dampener on the whole thing so far. So
we it was all hands on deck yesterday when the rain hit to get the super soppers out and all the pitches available.
It's actually unbelievable that we actually got any more cricket on after lunch yesterday. After having, I think there was 20 odd mils,
yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. So it all came in pretty much a hurry. So it's everyone's done well.
Only in Queensland, mate. You get the heavy rain and then the ground soaks it up.
Yep.
And you're ready to go.
Brody facing the leg spinner
Of
Pushy. That's easier to say than his name.
Ooh.
2 dots in a row.
Pressure's mounting here.
Seems to be working, taking the pace off the ball again. He's got to make his mind up here, Brody. Sweeps and sweeps well.
Yep, that's gone.
That's 4. Big fella chasing it, gave up 20 metres ago. Bowler's now chasing the game by moving the fielder to where the batsman just hit it. That just opens up a square leg.
Huge gap.
And Brody goes big. Goes big. Dropped on the rope by the looks of it.
6 runs.
Right in front of the home dugout. Can't tell if he's getting sledged or supported down there. Steve, what do you reckon would be going down there?
Yeah, they'd be wouldn't be too happy, the Lobster supporters.
They're giving it to him.
Yeah. Amazing the amount of times you see blokes walk in a couple of metres from the rope and the ball goes over their head. Captain killers, those ones.
They are. No excuse for dropping a ball and then letting it go for 6.
Or even worse if they only go for 4.
Well, that's worse. That is worse. Batsman call for a drink. They must be really thirsty after 2 overs getting the last one.
It's all that heavy lifting.
It looks like the fastest bloke on in their team's running the drinks out.
Good setup. So Brody went 4-6 then to finish that over.
And the score's 99 for 3 after 14 overs. Run rate they've got at the moment is 7 and over. The required rate is 9. So it's still in control, but they've still got to keep wriggling. It's 54 from 30 balls.
Yeah, row it to continue.
And as we see there, the umpire just dropped his water bottle. Never had a very good set of hands, Krusty.
Stick with the umpiring, you reckon, Trav?
Pretty much. Well, even though I've been on the end of some of his harsh calls, sometimes umpiring's not his game either.
Umpire's doing a great job out here in a very hotly contested game, keeping their cool.
Actually, the umpires have done pretty well all week.
Yeah.
There hasn't been too many complaints.
Nah, not much controversy.
So, which is unusual for last man stands Aussie champs. Usually it's riddled with it.
Yes.
But I think that's also got down to go down to the players' behaviour as well. That's a lot better this year.
Yep.
Oh, you spliced that over point.
You've got a rocket arm, Millsy. Oh! Close.
Great arm. Unfortunately, the wicketkeeper just couldn't get it in his gloves. I think the batsman was out by a mile.
Yep. Mentioned earlier when Rob was in, Trav, that Millsy actually got picked for this game basically for his rocket arm. He batted at 8. He's not going to bowl, so
right.
Yep, that's his job.
Right, nearly paid off then.
They're picking up the ante here, the second 11.
Yeah, you can see a little bit more desperation between the wickets. Doesn't look like the batsman's fitness is very good. They've won 2 twos in a row and they're on their haunches. Might be a few too many beers last night.
Celebrating that big win over 3 short and Sammy Lang.
Oh, they might have gone too early, have they?
Just the one. Out to cover.
Batsmen are giving up on that one. They just walked.
You sense the momentum's just starting to shift back to the batting team here.
Yeah, but they just really need to start getting some boundaries. You don't want to be trying to chase 20 plus in the last over.
Yeah, that's true.
With only 5 overs to go. No, sorry, my bad. 6 overs to go after this one. That's even wrong. It is 5 overs to go after this one. They need to really get a wriggle on.
Doesn't update it.
No.
Some technical difficulties here. Well, we get an updated scorecard. Bush is going to finish off his spell here. I think this is his 4th, is it, Trev?
Will be, yes.
Ooh.
Oh, they're going to take on the specialist thrower again. No,
not
batsman
this
slips.
Grabs the quad.
Brody's really hobbling
Back
up the other
into
end.
pain again.
Oh, he's tried to go big, the batsman. He ain't got it, it's just dropped short.
Looks like Brody's not even considering 2s now.
That might see Brody lash out here. He's going
Yeah.
to try and hit some boundaries.
Quicker ball.
Oh, there he goes.
Going high. Safe hands of Darren O'Connell. Takes the catch.
Good catch. Good celebration as well. Both catcher and bowler.
And he limps off. Brave innings.
Brave innings. Some would have to question why he's playing at all when he can't walk.
After keeping for 20 overs
Yeah.
as well.
But mind you, he did bat well. He's made 35
Yeah.
off 21 balls.
Yep. Gave the. He's giving the boys a chance here.
Next batsman coming in is Cameron Ingle. He's not going to have a chance to have a look at too many balls before he gets going. He's got to get
No.
going straight away. They need 43 from 22 balls, and it's getting to that stage where it's 2 off every ball, or might as well kiss the final goodbye.
They got a steal off that last delivery, I think.
Did they?
Yeah.
It's funny about the steals this week. A couple of teams are forgetting about them. Tradies won yesterday with one team forgetting they could have got still 2 on the last ball.
He's into rhythm. Yep.
First ball boundary.
Swatted away.
Captain didn't change the field after putting the bloke down on the sweep shot. Left a big gap at square leg, and he's just taken a full advantage of it. Oh, he's gone again. Mid-wicket.
Another couple.
He hasn't quite got that one as well.
So 37 from 20 is the current equation. Just looking at the bowling stats here. So Darren O'Connell still has one up his sleeve from he opened up. We've got Nathan Tyrrell with 1 to bowl, and Rowett is going to start his 3rd over here. So interesting to see how Paul Marchese, the captain, manages these last few overs, and who he's going to leave the last over to.
Have they got any secret weapons, Steve? No one that hasn't bowled yet?
I don't think you're going to see any new bowlers come into the attack.
No
Trav.
surprises?
No. I'm going to try and stick with the formula that's got him here, I think.
Right, fair enough.
Yep. Often a lot of people say, Trav, the 19th over is more important than the 20th in 2020s in terms of when the game's in the balance, and do you bowl your go-to bowler in the 19th over?
I think you've got to have 2 go-to bowlers. They're both
to
important
close out.
in close games.
Yep.
If you need 20 off the last 2 overs, you don't want the second last over going for 15 or so. It makes the last over nearly impossible as a bowling side.
Yeah.
You really want to try and shut them out of the game in this 19th. Don't give them a sniff.
Full and wide outside off.
It seems to be tactic. That's where he's bowled all 3 balls in this over.
Second dot of the over.
Sorry.
Only 1 run off 3, yeah?
Yep.
Yes. Slight adjustment to the field.
That means he's bowling wide. Now he's got a really big gap at point.
Yep.
And he's just hit it straight there.
Going to Take the arm on.
The rocket arm, he's not going to get there in time. Easy 2.
Still only 3 off the over with the 1 delivery
It's pretty
left.
good over. They've got to get double figures in the overs.
34 from 16 required.
Starting to get on the wrong side of that tool ball.
Yeah.
They're pushing for 2.
Oh.
Oh, overthrows. No. Good tactic by the wicketkeeper then, just lying flat in the middle of the wicket as a speed ump. Just trying to slow the batsman down.
So 5 off the over. Means we got 32 from 3 overs, or 15 balls.
It's going to take some getting. Even if they lose a wicket here, the second 11, I don't know if they've got much in the bank.
So your money's on the Lobsters
Oh,
from this position?
It'd be a safe bet at the moment. I might get proven wrong, but I'm not too sure who else they've got to come out and they can just blaze like that.
Looks as though Paul Marchese's bringing on his strike weapon, Darren O'Connell, to finish out his 4th over.
They're making their play now, are they, Steve?
Yeah, they'll be looking just to tie this one up. Not necessarily a wicket if you can get it, sure, but dot balls.
At this stage, dot balls are as good as a wicket.
Yep.
Well, he's lashed out.
Sometimes dots are even better than wickets,
Yes.
depending who the next batsman in is.
Well, true.
So O'Connell hasn't picked up a wicket yet, but he's only gone for 13 off 3.1.
That's pretty good figures.
Here we go.
Oh, he's gone big.
Very clean shot.
He's gone
Straight
big.
down the ground. 6.
It's 6. Very good shot over mid-off. Actually
pressure.
played a proper cricket shot. Good shot. Oh, he's missed that one by a foot. Tried it again.
Was on the verge of being a wide, that one.
Yeah, borderline I would almost say. By looking at it, I can see the wide line from here. It was close.
Judging where the keeper ended up. So, another dot.
He's made his mind up here. He's going after it. He's trying to do it as well. Hayden's trying to get on with it, but he looks like he's losing his shape on a couple of these shots. So
Only 6 off the over so far with that Zach and last delivery coming up here.
charges,
Going to be a single.
bunts it down the ground for 1.
Right. So 2 overs left. 25 required. 25.
How you going, guys?
Okay.
Who's got the crucial 19th over?
The one we're talking about. Is it going to be Rowie?
There's not a lot of movement. I don't think anyone wants it.
Tyrrell's taking the cap off.
Or the big fella from square leg. Slowly walks in. We might be here for a while, guys. He doesn't cover the ground very quickly at all.
Time isn't of the essence.
Sort of is.
In
We haven't got
situation.
we haven't got daylight savings in Queensland, so he needs to get a bit of a wriggle on. I can't believe the umpires are letting this one go. He's still not even to the wicket block, this bloke. He is a big lump of a lad, but
He is. So he's got 1 for 22 off 3 at this point.
oh, he's a left-hander too.
Yep. Looks like he's going to bowl his medium paces rather than his spin. Got a bit of shape in there.
He's hit that very well fielded down the end there.
Coming back. Well run. Well run.
2 runs. Looks like Hayden, the batsman from the second 11, taking the responsibilities. He's going to do it. He's going again, bunted it down the mid-off.
Looking for the other 2.
They're coming back. They're going. And they're back again. Have the second 11 boys got the petrol in the tank to run 2 every ball? I don't think so.
You're looking for the rope here.
They're going 2 again by the looks of it. Well fielded, save 4.
Yep.
Didn't flick it up, he actually passed it to his teammate on the boundary line there.
There's a handoff. Alright, so 6 off the first 3 deliveries of this over. Means we still require 19 from 7. Tighter line there from Tyrrell.
Just the one to hit him on the pad. One more boundary the second 11 need from this over to make it, give themselves half a chance.
So single to close out the over. Leaves us with 18 required. Off Rohit Sharma's last and 20th ovary coming up.
This one could come down to the last ball. They've got to get 6 off 4 balls, and hopefully the last one goes for 12.
With the home run rule.
Batsman's call for a drink, maybe some advice.
Anything from Krusty?
He won't get much advice out of him. He's not known as a batsman. Actually, he's not known as a cricketer.
So it's going to be Hayden on strike again here.
Oh, there's another bloke. There's more advice coming out from the crowd. No, doesn't need it. We've got Hayden on strike again.
Ooh. Oh, he's hit him in the back.
Only one off the ball. Batsman was trying to get the ball down to fine leg there. There's no one there. There's plenty of gaps.
Oh, sharp chance. Double play.
Double play.
That's
as well.
Huge. Maybe not. The umpire's just confirmed the double play there, has he? Judging by
The
the way.
non-striker doesn't look real happy. Taking a long time to get up. Lobsters are celebrating.
Yep.
Great set of hands. The batsman's smoked that back to him.
Yep, they're both walking off.
Double play, big moment in the game. 2 fresh
Really?
batsmen.
Very sharp chance, that one that Rowie took. And then had the awareness to turn around and whip the bails off at the non-strikers end.
Or is
to get
that
the double play.
Was that only one batsman to coming out?
Yeah, down to the last.
Oh.
Is that right? 7 down? I think it's
5.
a run out 6.
1,
Maybe
2,
it's just not
3,
padded up
4,
yet.
5, 6.
You can only see 5 wickets on the scorecard there.
No, that's it. His last man stands. No pressure on you, Sunshine. That's him walking out now. He hasn't confirmed. Oh no, here he comes. Sorry.
So number 7 and 8 stride to the crease with a big task. 17 off 3. So minimum they need off the next 2 balls is 5 runs to then take it down to the last ball, with a 6 being worth 12 runs.
Jeez, I hope these blokes have been practicing in the nets for this. Got to go straight after it. Got to go big. Into the wind. Big gap at point. Big gap at mid-wicket.
Could write themselves into LMS folklore if they can get the job done from this point, Trav.
Oh, exactly right. He's charged him. He's missed it. They're running.
Oh, no ball's been called. So we've got a run out and a free hit coming. Wow. It's all happening this last over.
Yeah. It's like the second 11 is self-imploding here.
So above the waist, full toss. That the square leg umpire's called a no ball. But Corey's been run out at the non-strikers end. Which just leaves Dave Fitchett to be the hero.
Doesn't look like much of a batsman. He's got his thigh pad on the outside of his pants. That usually tells me a sign as a bowler that I'm not dealing with something special. He's asking for some advice from square leg. He won't get any there.
So 16 from 3, standing on his own here at the end, with a free hit coming up on this delivery.
What's he going to try and do?
Ramp shot.
I don't know.
Thickish edge.
Oh, he's taking it on.
Taking on the gunner.
Oh,
fumble.
fumble. Oh.
Okay. 14.
14.
Off 2.
Oh.
So as we were saying, he needs a 2 here.
Can he get the 2? Can he get the 2?
To take it to the last ball.
Dot ball. Bowler's pretty happy with himself. He's celebrating before the job's done.
He saluted to the crowd.
Geez, I'll tell you what, the next ball wouldn't want to be a no ball free hit.
Or a wide.
Yes. And it will travel for 6. Jeez. You look like a goose. Doesn't mind a celebration, the bowler.
Comes back for 2.
That's it. Lobsters into the final against Park Cricketers.
Pretty brave batting display there by the second 11. They just couldn't quite get anyone up to that magical 50 number.
Just got pipped.
And sort of got that first 10 overs, I think, is where the Lobsters won the game by restricting them to 60 odd runs hitting with the wind.
Yeah, exactly.
They had too much work to do in that second 10 into the breeze.
Yeah. So by the looks of it, we've got some old blokes playing some young blokes in the final. It'll be interesting to see.
Very much so.
As the wounded second 11 limp out, by the looks of it.
Literally, all of them.
Shake their hands. The Lobsters, it looks like there's 15 of them out there. I can't quite figure what's just happened.
All the support crew are out there.
Right,
They'll
okay.
all shake hands. There's a lot of camaraderie amongst these two teams. Often been maligned teams in the past, not necessarily crowd favourites. But
you got to make your bet in line at sometimes.
But they've played a really, really solid, close game out here today in the semi-final.
Really good show of sportsmanship there, guys.
Yep.
Excellent.
Lobsters gather around for a huddle. Not sure if they've got a team song or not, but we'll find out shortly.
Oh, you wouldn't think you'd sing it before the final. It's going to be the big test, but the young blokes are all rested.
Yeah.
You got these old blokes over there that are going to back it up straight away. I'm backing the Parkies in the final.
They'll only have what are we talking? 10, 15 minutes till we get underway, Trav, for the final.
Yeah, right.
Oh, mate. Okay. We're off, mate.